Another day in Chamonix. Another lovely warm day in Chamonix. There's Mont Blanc. And we're going up this cabine to the Glacier ski area. And once we get up there, we're then going to walk to
the orange path, I think.
The orange path to Plan Prat. And then we're going to get the telecabine back down into Chamonix. So we just go up the bus for 10 minutes up to here. Let's see how we go. Just about to start the steep incline. Just about to set off on the walk. Cloudy today, but I think this valley right in the center now is the valley created by the Mer de Glace, which is the biggest of the glaciers coming off Mont Blanc. But it's gone back up the valley 2 kilometers apparently. It's retreated, and you can see down the lower part here where it's obviously been at some time in the past and it's eroded away the valley side. But now you've got to go all the way up to there before you get to the actual glacier now. So if I'm right, that's where we're heading tomorrow. So we're getting a train and then a cable car that takes us up to the glacier. On the walk, just come down some steep steps. Now we've got to go up some ourselves. And then I think we're heading over this scree slope. Just see the footpath cutting its way through. Okay, even better view I think of the slope that we're going to go across. Quite a few people walking this track, as you can see.
Which is like a goat's track.
Yeah. We've got across the scree slope now. Pretty rough and rocky in some parts. And we've got this fantastic viewpoint now, so actually we can see, if I can find it, here we go. There we go. The train track that we're going to go on tomorrow, that's running diagonally in the middle of the screen up here.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. And down here you can actually see the water that's coming off the big Mer de Glace glacier. So that's probably what's feeding the river that's running through the center of Chamonix. When we walked alongside it last night, or yesterday afternoon, you could actually feel the cool coming off the water because it was a hot afternoon evening. It was almost like having a refrigerator door open. The water must be so cold. So what have we been? We've been going for 43 minutes. They said an hour and a half to 2 hours for this walk.
Probably another 40 something.
Let's get going. We've just done a bit of climbing. We dropped quite a long way, but now we've climbed back up. And we're heading up to the cable car at the end of the walk. But you can see how steep it is here. And just above the walkway we're going to go up, they've got these installations to catch the snow, stop it from coming down on the path in the winter. Well, here's a further update. When I said we were just going around the corner to the cable car, I was optimistic. So we've just climbed for about 20 minutes up this very rocky path, and now we've still got to keep on going up this hill to get to the cable car.
The good news is it's uphill. It's easier.
Sometimes.
Most of it.
Well, we had a bit of a shock when we came around the corner just now after climbing so far, because right at the top of that peak there is a cable car station. And we were thinking, no way, we'd need rock climbing gear to get up there. But fortunately, it looks like there's another stop just around that corner there. So that's where we're heading for. Okay, Friday night in Chamonix. We have the World Climbing Series. Just watch how quick these people go up this wall, it's ridiculous.
Allez, on fait du bruit s'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs, ça va vite, il faut battre encore les Chinois, il est rapide. 4,87. Oh, et
4.87 seconds to get up there.
Et meilleur chrono de ses qualifs. On peut l'applaudir s'il vous plaît, le Chinois. Ivania Lopez. And Team Germany is Radian.
What a great backdrop for a climbing wall though, look at these hills. Here we go, Germany against Ecuador.
Ready?
Look at the speed.
Allez, allez, c'est parti, allez, les couilles. Il est parti, il est rapide, il connaît rien. Ouais.
That was slow. 5.69 seconds.
Donc là, pour le moment, c'est tranquille. On a déjà 6 chronos en dessous des 5 secondes.
There's a big crowd.
Ready?
Here we go.
Allez, 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 Kazakhstan, давай. Oh, c'est bon, et encore
4.94.
Ça passe en dessous des 5 du bruit.
Et ouais, et puis on a aussi un record personnel pour le grimpeur brésilien.
42, incroyable.
That's cool, personal best pour Caio.
Another day, another trip in Chamonix. This time we're going on the cog railway up to the Mer de Glace. That's it. Not sure we're going to get on this train. Off the train onto the gondola now to go down to where the glacier is.
En fait, plus tu creuses, plus ça fond. En fait, ça faisait plusieurs centaines de mètres d'épaisseur. Donc en fait, ça il a des millions d'années.
So we're about to walk down to the glacier surface. So the train is actually finishes quite a bit higher. And I suspect that way back, the glacier was a lot higher up the sides of this valley. So it's still here on the bottom of the valley, but it's just not as thick. And it's difficult to get a sense that this is ice, but you can just sort of see that occasionally there's a sort of break. So you can see some sort of melt water coming out of the side of it there. And to get an idea of the scale, there's two people walking down here, if I can find them. There they go, right in the middle of the screen, in black. Okay, I'm going to zoom out now. Okay, that puts things into scale. So we have just come down a lot of steps. And what's frightening is that right up there at the top, there was a sign that said that the glacier was at that level 8 years ago. So in 8 years, it's dropped this much. That is really frightening. So what they've done is they've built this ice cave, and they've obviously put these white sheets over the glacier at this point to stop it from melting, reflect away the sun. And so it's difficult to see that it's ice, but you get these odd bits sticking out like this. Yeah. So actually, we thought initially this was just the valley floor, but it's not. This is actually ice covered by all the debris that's come down from the sides of the valley. It's just amazing.
Let's see the cave.
Okay, we're going into the cave. In we go. What this camera can't tell you
This is it.
is just how cold it is in here. It's like walking into a huge fridge.
But also look at the eyes.
Yeah. And it's actually melting and dripping. This is ice. Don't know whether you can see, but it's got a sort of transparent layer to it. I'm getting dripped on. Into the ice cave. It's really cold in here. There's a top surface layer that's transparent. You can see all the layers below. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this out. And there's a lot of water dripping from the roof. So yeah, hard to believe we're under a sea of ice at the moment.
500 years, 11 kilometers.
Yeah,
Another 400
not sure
years.
if you saw that on the screen, but it's saying it's taken 500 years to travel 11 kilometers.
And this is another 400 here. And 300.
So they recarve this ice cave once a year. So they close it for, I think, about a month while they redo everything. I guess with the melting and the movement of the glacier, they just have to do that work, remedial work, once a year. Hopefully the camera's gonna pick out this blue hue to the ice. This ice cave has been going for 80 years. I keep on taking video clips where the ice is, to the human eye, transparent. You can see the layers behind it. I'm just hoping the camera's going to pick it up. So here we have a very cool living room. chairs, table.
Fireplace.
Oh, is that a piano?
Yeah, looks like it. A piano.
And a fireplace. Okay, we're heading back out now. That was definitely worth it. Look how shiny and smooth these walls are. I'm waiting for a break in the people coming down, but it's never ending. Actually, look at all the shadows of the people walking down. The reason I'm stopping is because there's a sign here saying that only 4 years ago, this is where the glacier was, height-wise. Now look at it. How much further you've got to go down to get to it. That's a huge change in 4 years. The sign, the next sign we're going to get, I think, is where the glacier was in 2018, so only 8 years ago. And that's way up there. So look how much it's fallen in that period. So they had to close the cable car and reposition it because it was finishing way too high above the glacier and the steps down were huge. So they've repositioned it, but I'm guessing what they're having to do every couple of years is add even more steps to accommodate the fact that the glacier is just going further and further down the valley wall. Don't know whether you can see, but here we've just got water pouring out. And we're only halfway through July, so we've got the rest of July and all of August to go, where the amount of water coming out is just going to be huge. How was that?
Interesting, amazing, and sad at the same time. I almost felt guilty about coming here and going into that ice cave and with my body heat and breath contributing to the melting of the glacier. But
Yeah, on the other hand, it's a good way of educating lots of people in terms of the impact we're having.
I don't know if
Whether it changes behaviour is another thing. I mean, look, let's face it, we're going to get in the car tomorrow and drive for 4 hours and chuck out a lot of fossil fuel. So, yeah, I mean, you can slightly modify your behaviour, I guess, and that has a little bit of an impact. But
and the people in the cave, I don't know if they actually were thinking about that and realizing. But especially the landmarks, how the glaciers retreated in the last 8, 6, 4 years. And it's just, that was shocking. That's really shocking.
And I'm thinking back 50 plus years to when I was doing geography at school and we were talking about glaciers, and living in Sheffield, I didn't think really there was much chance of me seeing firsthand a glacier, but I can remember hanging valleys. So they are little valleys that come down the side of the main valley, and where the glacier has cut away the valley but then retreated, it's left this hanging valley where the water runs down and then the valley just abruptly ends and the water just tumbles down. So there's a good example. Maybe didn't think I'd ever see a hanging valley. So we've just seen another information board as we look at the water pouring off the side that's going to go down into that river. Okay, so where the eroded layer finishes on the side of this valley, that's where the glacier was in 1820. So just look at the height that it's dropped and the volume of ice that that represents. Incredible. Aren't you glad that you're not at the top of Mont Blanc right now? Particularly with a thunderstorm going on. So we've definitely timed everything right. Went up on a perfectly clear day. Got up quite early this morning and headed up to the Mer de Glace. And now we're safely back in the apartment as the storm rolls in.